But I feel really compelled to share this one story with you. That's a little bit more, I think, in line with maybe a more traditional idea of magic
Okay.
or the mystical. And it happened when I had just moved to Sarasota, Florida, and I was participating in a women's circle, looking for community, looking to deepen kind of my own introspective search for the meaning of life and wanting a group of women to explore that with. And the person who led the circle and I wanted to get to know each other a little bit better. So we decided to go on a hike in one of the nature preserves there it was a place that she really enjoyed. And pretty early in our walk, we came across this very reedy shore on the swamp. And, before I moved to Sarasota, I thought of swamps as being kind of musty and dark and scary. No, it's like beautiful, clear water and reeds and trees and just absolutely gorgeous. So we stop at this little clearing on the shore with reeds all around and dragonflies just darting in and out all over. And I just kind of make an offhand comment about dragonflies carrying fairies and what a magical space this is. And, we're giving gratitude to the dragonflies for blessing our hike today. And we continue on our way. And I'm pretty into wayfinding and off-trail hiking. So periodically I'm turning around and just orienting myself with how things will look when we're returning. And we're on our walk for I don't know, maybe an hour or two, and we come upon this gorgeous tree. So we stop, we sit under the tree. Our conversation gets very deep about spirituality, past lives, mysticism, really just drop right in. It seems like maybe we've sat there for 30, 45 minutes. We're like, okay, that was really good. Let's head on back. Maybe we'll get some lunch. We stand up, we're both kind of like in this like ethereal headspace from our conversation. And we both realize that literally nothing looks familiar except for the tree that we've been sitting under. Like, well, we're just kind of disoriented because we just dropped way in. So let's just start walking. We obviously approached from this direction, so we'll just head back that direction. And I'll bet as soon as we get around that corner, everything will fall into place and we'll see the path and we'll know where we're going. And we walked for about an hour. And then I'm like, I think around this corner, we're going to be at the parking lot. We round the corner, we are at the same tree. We haven't recognized anything at all along our walk. And now we've made a full circle. Okay, that's pretty trippy. Well, I don't know what to say. Let's just keep going, I guess. So we go back. We're like heading back down the path, the one direction we know that we're supposed to go. Same thing. We wind up back at this same tree. And now at this point, like we've been out here for a few hours and it's kind of starting to get close to dusk. So she's starting to panic a little bit. And I'm like, oh, this is interesting. This is like, I think of her as the leader of our women's circle. I'm like looking to her for guidance. And now she's starting to get a little anxious about the situation in a place that she's supposedly familiar with. And she's like, okay, we need to walk through the swamp to that roadway over there. I was like, okay, you grew up here. I'm pretty new, but I don't know how deep that water is. Don't we need to worry about alligators and snakes and stuff? She goes, oh, good point. I was like, okay, okay. Well, here's everything's gonna be fine. I realize at that point that I kind of need to take charge of the situation. You know what? I don't think we should walk through the water, but you know what? If we have to, this huge tree looks really stable. We could sleep in the tree if we have to, but we still have plenty of time. I don't think it's going to be a problem. We've got snacks. We're going to be fine. Let's just try to make one more go for the parking lot. So we start on our little trail. We get to a spot where it looks like it's just grass to the road. We can't quite tell how far the road is. It's a few hundred yards, but not too far. But it looks like there's no water. So I'm like, okay, let's just walk to the road. As soon as we step off the trail and start walking through this like knee to waist high grass, we get completely accosted by mosquitoes. So I'm not sure if you're familiar with mosquitoes of Florida, but one of the good things about them is that they're so big you can feel them land on you. So you can usually swat them away before they take a nibble. Except that there were so many, so many. Nobody ever goes into this part of the park. So they were very hungry. And so this very spiritual woman and I are trudging through this waist-high grass in a swamp, slapping ourselves silly, walking towards this road. We finally get to the road and we realize it's on top of a like a 10-foot retaining wall. We can see that a ways down, there's a way to get up to the road. It's a little far, but it's also like now it is dusk, so we have to just keep going at this point. So we've made the decision. We're just going to keep going. I'm trying to like stay positive. This is insane, but it's going to be fine. A ranger pulls up in his truck and he gets out with one eyebrow raised real high. He goes, "What are you ladies doing?" Like, oh my goodness, sir, we are so lost. We just want to get back to our car. And he's like shaking his head. All right, walk on up that away. Come on up to the road. I'll meet you down there. We get in his truck. He says, "Now, which parking lot are you in?" She tells him where we parked, and he goes, "Ladies, that is clear on the other side of the park." Okay, I'm going to drive you over there. It took him almost an hour to drive us to our parking spot. Keep in mind that our initial hike to the tree was like 30 to 45 minutes, or maybe an hour. We finally get back to the truck or back to her car, and now it's dark. We're hungry, we're dirty, we're disheveled, we're confused, completely bewildered. We're like, okay, we're going to the nearest Mexican restaurant and we are going to get burritos and margaritas and talk about what the heck just happened. So we do it. As soon as we've got a little food in our bellies, we're laughing. It's like, what a bizarre experience. We go home. The next morning, I call her up and I'm like, "Do you have any mosquito bites?" Neither of us had a single bite. And all of a sudden, I flash back to that moment with the dragonflies. Like, oh, wow. You know what? Those little tricksters decided to show us a little lesson. And it was a really important moment for me to realize that I couldn't look for someone else to guide me, that I had the answers within myself. We all have our pieces to contribute and we can learn from each other, but ultimately, we are our best guides.